League of Legends Wales, may this be a warning. I see you with your immense wardrobe of skins being one of the suckers that splashed $450 on immortalized legend Ari. Well, prepare your wallets because it looks like Riot has a new card game coming. I'm Ash Dixon and this is GINX News. Over the weekend, the prominent League of Legends leaker Big Bad Bear shared this rather legit looking teaser. It was originally posted on the Chinese social media platform Bilibili and starts with the symbols of League's various factions before we see some popular champions which all culminate in a physical trading card. Now, if you're familiar with Riot Games, you're probably thinking, doesn't League of Legends already have a card game? And you're right, a digital CCG, Legends of Runeterra. A game that's only recently been scaled down massively with the PvP in maintenance mode and a whole load of the team being laid off. Interestingly, this game never launched in China, mainly because the process of publishing games there is a bureaucratic nightmare, leading to some to suspect that this is just an announcement for a Legends of Runeterra port. But there's several suggestions that that's not the case. First of all, the dude in the trailer is holding a physical card, one that doesn't resemble the card back for Legends of Runeterra. Two, it seems the title roughly translates to Rune Battleground League of Legends battle game. And at the end, it mentions a world premiere in 2025, as opposed to just, a premiere in China. Also, back when Riot announced that Legends of Runeterra was being downscaled, they made it explicitly clear that they ultimately decided not to bring it to China. And it's at this point that fans of that game are probably feeling a little salty, because I don't know if you've played LOR, but it's actually a freaking great card game. It has a whole chain system, which means every turn is super dynamic and engaging. The art and the sound design is just top tier. And most of all, the game is generous as hell. Like, I got the entire first set in a couple of weeks without paying a single penny. Kind of like our Patreon, which is free until the end of November. And this YouTube channel, which is free forever. So go subscribe. But maybe that's silly of us, because it was that same generosity that led to the downfall of Legends of Runeterra, because you couldn't buy packs in that game. The only cards you could buy were wild cards, which you would use to create the exact cards you wanted depending on rarity, but you earned a whole load of those for free. In fact, the main thing in the store was cosmetics. Now, I don't know if you know trading card games, but the traditional model just involves violating the out of your wallet. You mainly buy booster packs that contain random cards where you pray that you get the pulls you need. Of course, you can buy singles, but if that's a prominent card in the meta, well then everyone wants it and the price soars. In fact, if you want to have a competitive deck in something like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, it is normal to spend $500 plus, and that's for one deck that will need updating or changing whenever the meta shifts. And that might lead you to think, surely then people should have loved Legends of Runeterra. But here's the honest truth. One, people had already invested in games like Hearthstone or Magic, so there's an incentive to stay. But two, a lot of card game players have a gambling problem and are addicted to the dopamine rush of pulling hits. People don't like to admit it, but it's a straight up fact. I witnessed it firsthand many times when I started getting into Pokemon TCG. Legends of Runeterra was never profitable, and it's because when it comes to card games, people just don't care for digital cosmetics. Now, some people might be like, whoa, Marvel Snap is successful, but that game was designed for mobile with tiny decks and games that last like 5 minutes. It's just a whole different beast. Plus, just putting it out there, Legends of Runeterra is a terrible name. I know the universe of League is super rich with stories and characters, and it's led to the fantastic Arcane, but for someone outside looking in, it just sounds like generic fantasy mobile trash. But where that game failed, I think that's where this new physical card game has an immensely high chance of succeeding, because most simply, Riot knows how to make an excellent card game, and one that will likely not break your wallet. Yeah, it's not going to be as free-to-play friendly as Legends of Runeterra, but I'd be very surprised if Riot wasn't planning to undercut the barrier to entry of all of its competitors. After all, when they released their first board game, Mechs vs Minions, they were selling it for the silly price of $75. Now, if you play board games, you know that games of that scale and production quality normally go for double that. if not more. Plus, I know so many people who despise League of Legends as a game, but absolutely adore the world and the lore built around it. It's why so many people have high hopes for the upcoming MMO, despite it being very, very far away. If Rune Battleground is mechanically a great game, but they're throwing in stunning art alternatives of all the champions for the collectors too, then that is a moneymaker right there. There's no avoiding that it is a massively oversaturated market. After all, even Disney have launched a TCG to get a slice of the pie. So I guess that's where I want your thoughts. Is there even room for yet another TCG? And am I wrong to get excited for whatever Riot comes up with? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.